All right, let's take a look at how we could somehow model a hashtag and a post and just generally associate them with each other. Now I'm going to show you two possible ways of setting up this relationship. The first one is going to be kind of obvious and make a decent amount of sense, but we're going to say maybe this isn't the best way, and we're going to take a look at a second way of modeling a hashtag with a post. All right, so here's the first way. So in the first way of somehow modeling a hashtag and a post together, we could have a table of hashtags, and inside that table we'd have maybe a column of title and a column of post ID. So title would be the actual hashtag that is being used. And then the post ID would be the post that is making use of that hashtag. We might have one hashtag or an identical title being used many times across different posts. So for example, the hashtag fun, fun, fun is being used in post 3, 4, and 5. So if we then wanted to figure out which posts are making use of which hashtag, we could very easily do a join. We could do a simple where and say, all right, let's find all the different post IDs that are making use of the hashtag of fun. Simple queries. We definitely know how to do stuff like that. Now, this is a design that would definitely work, without a doubt. However, for some performance reasons that we're going to go into once we start to discuss performance a little bit more, you're going to frequently see a hashtag kind of system modeled in a slightly different way. It's going to look a little bit more like this. So we're going to have a discrete table of hashtags where we have just an ID for the hashtag and the title. Every title over here is going to be unique. So on the hashtags table, we're only going to see a list of all the unique hashtags that have ever been used. We then still have our post table over here with a couple of different columns that I'm not really showing inside this diagram just for clarity. And then to somehow figure out which hashtags are being used inside of which post, we would have a table here in the middle called hashtags posts. We would refer to this as a join table. The only purpose of it is to somehow relate a hashtag and a post together. So inside this table, we would have the hashtag ID. In this case, it's 3, so that would maybe be snow. And we would say that that hashtag was being used in the post with ID 3. That would be this one right here. And then we might have, say, the hashtag birthday being used inside this first post, and so on. So it might seem like we're just adding in an extra table here arbitrarily. Well, like I mentioned, the reason that we might split this out to the two separate tables is for performance concerns. The real big statement here, or the big reason for that, is that you'll notice that in the hashtags table on this first design, we had a lot of words that were being duplicated many different times. Anytime that we start to duplicate strings, that might be a little bit of a space concern. We might be using a little bit more storage in our database than we would otherwise want to be using. It turns out that if we make use of this kind of relationship, we only have to list out each string just one time, and then we can store a very simple integer instead to point back to the appropriate string. Storing an integer is a lot more space effective than storing a big string in general. So again, you're going to frequently see this kind of system for performance concerns or reasons, and we're going to go into more detail on those performance reasons over time. Okay, so with that in mind, one more quick pause, and then we're going to set up two new tables inside of our database design to include the idea of tagging a hashtag and a post or somehow tying them together.